guys. Yeah. Somebody might leave you there.
I'm gonna think that I told you so.
Well, howdy. The room you found yourself in is akin to sheriff's offices you would have found in the American West of the late 1800s. The county sheriff was an integral part of life in the Wild West, and you typically find their office everything around. Sheriff was an elected position, giving county residents a direct say in who upheld the law, and their power extended across the entire county, including remote rural areas far outside of town. The sheriff always employed a team of deputies to assist in patrols, arrests, and maintaining the peace. But in rare occasions when extra manpower was needed, the sheriff could form a posse of everyday citizens who helped track down a wayward criminal or two. Famous sheriffs of the Wild West include the likes of Bat Masterson, Wild Bill Hickok, and Wide Earp. And if you ever got off south with the likes of them, you'd have found yourselves in a cell, much like the one in this room.
Take care. Try this on, buddy. All right. Right now. All right. Now, some ground rules, okay? The adults here, to keep an eye on your head. There's a couple low ceilings. It'd be too big for you to jump on yourself. I want everybody to keep an eye on their feet. Don't step anywhere you can't see, okay? Hey, you gotta roll down. Oh, no, there you go. You're perfect. All right.
All right, ready? So Jared's gonna keep us safe. Yeah? Oh, look at that.
Now, you don't have to wear the hats if you don't want to.
Oh, you don't? All right.
Hi, there she is. No, it's free, miss. Have fun. Hey, come on, don't be shy, don't be shy. I know we got a meet club.
Where you going over my tomorrow? Do you have your sunglasses? What? Do you have your sunglasses? Yeah, all right.
You might come across here in this things fall apart. Oh, I gotta go figure out what they was.
I actually thought that was falling. I actually thought that was falling.
You don't worry about that. I'm gonna see you at the end.
Same thing. Oh, yeah. Falling down. But the thing that didn't make any sense to me is that the scarecrow was shaking the thing.
Yeah, well, it's a haunted mine.
Yeah, I guess so. Everything here's supposed to be haunted, I guess. Like I saw an advertisement for like a ghost store.
Oh, you got the answer for this again. Yes, it says. Fucking. A bunch of Jews that wrote this for this. I guess.
It says head in. Guess it's going with the goats.
I guess you can't go in. Jason doesn't like goats.
Yes, Jason hates goats. Hello.
friends, you've just stepped into a replica of a classic schoolhouse of the Wild West. Schoolhouses were typically small, one-room buildings, often with dirt floors, where a single teacher would instruct all grades ranging from elementary to high school, all in the same small space. Attendance was highly variable, with children often missing school due to farm chores or the like. And qualified teachers were hard to come by and highly esteemed, especially in distant rural areas. Much like schools today, schools in the Wild West served as a central point for community life, with people gathering here for debates, meetings, and social life.
Fitting to be established back there at the town.
Here, they like little things, boss.
After that year.
You have to go to Ardmore where they take clientele. Why don't you just have good stuff over there?
Can't take the lid off of that, but it'll get serve the purpose, it's still covered up.
No.
Oh, they don't want it, sorry.
It's an A1, so we're trying. We should have a key lock.
It's, you're betting that I win.
Stop that.
So you can bet that. Yeah, it seems like this is very friendly to the player, right? Oh, it usually is, even if it's fair. And that's not the thing with fair.
John Bride.
I actually remember this.
So this used to be a movie set. So I guess this is where they filmed all these movies. Film Tombstone here.
Oh, do you want to put it on? No?
How do you find out when the show times are? Is there a map? Let's go up there and get a map.
The green goes raining from the sky. That would have been right behind the window. That's where Waffles Castle. Waffles Castle was added on to the backside of the window. But it was just a facade.
Is there a map? Where did we get it? Is that where we got it? See if there's a
So I'll ride this way, folks. I'll just reset my clock here. There we go. And right this way. First and foremost, welcome to Old Tucson. My name's Jacob. I'll be showing you through the property today. We're just going to do a little bit of walk and talk on our way to our first stop. A little bit of history of the lot you've been visiting here today. This was a project put on by Columbia Pictures back in 1939. They came out here at the invitation of a local businessman by the name of Nick Hall, And when he heard that they were looking for a rather large parcel of land to build a city on, he suggested that they come out and take a look at Pima County. They did that for two reasons. One, we had the land to work with, and two, if a movie company comes out here for 4.5 to 5 months, they have to stay somewhere, and Mr. Hall just so happened to run one of the largest hotels in Tucson at that time. So it's win-win. They came out, they found that this lot was exactly what they were looking for, and so in January of 1939, they negotiated a lease for the 300 acres with Pima County. Once they had that lease, they descended on this place that spring with a small army of craftsmen, historians, and other laborers, and built a full-scale replica of Tucson, Arizona, as it existed in 1862 when that movie takes place. So all the adobes that you see on this end of the property, these are all from 1939. Once the set was up and running, that gave us the first and only nickname we've ever had out here, Old Tucson. They came out here once the set was ready to go. About 4.5 months later, they're done with their shooting. They go back to California. They had no intention of ever coming back. But a done set piece as far as they were concerned. So everything was made out of adobe at that time. They figured that within 20 years, the whole set would have melted right back into the dirt it was made out of. But that doesn't come to pass, because in 1947, Hollywood comes back out here and requests permission from Pima County to make one more movie out here. And then one more after that, and a couple more come in behind that. And so far, if you line up all those dominoes, starting in 1947, we're up to 500 film, television, commercial projects out here. And the most recent film that we have played host to is called Among Wolves. It stars Tom Berenger. It was filmed out here in the summer of 2023. And if you watch that movie, you can see it. It's up available on Amazon. And you will see our entire downtown section in use in that film, as well as a couple of our satellite buildings out in what I call the Back 40. If any of you grew up watching the High Chaparral television series, you will actually see the ranch house complex used in that movie as the homestead for the anti-heroes in that film. Do we have any John Wayne fans on the tour today? Well, welcome to what's referred to as Stage 2. And I and a lot of the members of the history department here, we refer to it as John Wayne Acres. He made 4 movies here. It's Rio Bravo, Rio Lobo, El Dorado, and McClintock. For everything but McClintock, you're going to see him filming a lot of sequences on this side of the lot because they're supposedly taking place in smaller, kind of remote little towns, and so they're making use of our adobes to great effect. The first time you see him filming out here, he'd be out here in 1957 for the movie Rio Bravo. And one of the first locations we're talking about that we still have from that shoot is the footbridge right here. It goes all the way back to 1939. It was part of the original set for the movie Arizona. But when you see it in Rio Bravo, that is where the wagon with the dynamite lamp oil gets stopped by Dean Martin. And he's telling them they can't bring their wagon into town with their sidearms because of orders from his boss, played by John Wayne, who's the city marshal. Now, while the wagon is stopped over here, the marshal ends up having a conversation with the wagon captain. Okay, I think it's going to come right on through. We just step over here to the boardwalk briefly. He has a conversation with the wagon captain. That's when he finds out that they're carrying lamp oil and dynamite, and that their plan is to spend the night over at the livery stable and then make their deliveries the following morning. Well, when he hears all of that, what John Wayne's character ends up telling the wagon captain is that that's too dangerous a cargo to have in the livery. You're going to have to put it on the south side of town where it'll be safer for everyone. Now, to show you how small a town this is, the south side of town is 147 feet that way. But the wagon is now set out to be of great use to the city marshal during a big gunfight scene at the end of that movie. Now, the next shot you see them filming over on this side is right here behind this building. And it's making use of our blacksmith shop right here. Now, in that scene, Dean Martin is pacing back and forth on the boardwalk right here, and he is nursing one heck of a hangover. Dean Martin with a hangover, what are the odds, right? I'm just as surprised as you are. Actually, I would be more surprised if he didn't have a hangover in his movies. But while he's dealing with all of that, he walks over to the edge of the boardwalk, kneels down, splashes some water on his face in a trough that was set out here for that scene, and he then manages to get himself knocked out by a couple of henchmen working for the bad guys, and to get him out of sight, they throw him into the closest building they can find, which is our blacksmith shop right here behind me. He ends up being unceremoniously dumped on a little adobe ledge in the back right corner of the room. The next sequence, you'll see them shooting on this side. It starts out at the marshal's office. Now, we don't have that building anymore, sad to say, but it would have been right at the end of Front Street, right about where the dentist's office sign is today. Out the door comes the city marshal, played by John Wayne. Right behind him is one of the bad guys in that film, Joe Burdette, and he is being played by Claude Akins. Keeping an eye on Burdette is John Wayne's sidekick for that film, Colorado, and he is being played by teen idol and heartthrob in training, Ricky Nelson. And all three of those actors now begin the long walk down the main street of town, which is Front Street here, and you'll see them go past our two-story hotel set. They will then pass the apothecary building, the brewery, the loading dock for the brewery. They come right up onto the bridge once again from earlier in the movie. Once they cross the bridge, they get to this intersection, and they then turn to their left. And where they're headed is the barn right over here. Now this barn was one of 27 buildings that went up for the 4 movies that John Wayne made here. But unlike the other sets that went up for this, for those 4 films, this barn is the only one you're going to see in all 4 movies. He fell in love with it when he saw it for the first time in 1957. From that moment on, it will appear either as a main set piece or in the background of every film he goes on to make here at Old Tucson. When you see it for the very first time, it doesn't have this wooden section on there yet. That would not go on until sometime before El Dorado gets filmed here. So they come around the corner, they walk right down the middle of the road here, and then they enter through that door on the right. John Wayne then walks out the front door of the barn and hollers over to the warehouse set that was right across from it, and that would have been right about where the Arizona Theater building is today. He ends up calling out for the lead bad guy, Nathan Burdette, and he informs them that he's here for their prisoner exchange. Now the way that's supposed to work is that Joe Burdette's supposed to walk that way, Dean Martin's character's supposed to walk back this way, and they call it good. If something can go wrong in that scene, it does. And eventually it erupts into a huge gunfight between the ridiculous number of bad guys over here in the warehouse and the woefully outnumbered good guys in the barn, headed up by John Wayne. Just when you think that the marshal has seen his last sunrise, a trope kicks in that you see in a lot of Hollywood action adventure movies. Not so much in westerns, but definitely in the modern era, you will see this one, and that is character you have not seen or heard from in a while suddenly shows up and saves the day. And in the case of Rio Bravo, that is Deputy Stumpy, who's being portrayed by everyone's favorite golden era Hollywood character actor, Walter Brennan. So Stumpy shows up to the gunfight armed with his double-barrel shotgun. And with it, he is blowing great big holes in the ridiculous number of bad guys who are doing their best to surround the barn in that scene. Stumpy also just so happens to be sitting right next to that wagon parked out on the south side of town from earlier. So he goes over and gets a case of dynamite, brings it over to the marshal, and between the two of them, he and the marshal end up using that dynamite blow very large holes in the warehouse set, forcing the ridiculous number of bad guys to surrender. Now, in the very end, they end up blowing up the entire front end of that structure. And if you have something like that in a movie scene, does Murphy's Law ever show up? Oh, yes. And in the case of Rio Bravo, it had VIP tickets. Now, the warehouse set that they built was a complete structure. And as a result of that, the director, Howard Hawks, was using it as an actual warehouse. So, in a building that they are planning to blow up very early on in the shooting schedule of this movie, he is storing film stock cameras, microphones, lights, all kinds of really expensive and essential stuff in that building that's already rigged to go boom. See where this is going? Well, the day of that scene, Howard Hawks sends a crew over, and that morning they clean out every single thing in storage on the first floor. No one thought to check the small loft upstairs. So when the big moment comes and the explosion is released, it was in that instance that every single person on this side of Old Tucson was to discover that somebody had been storing a lot of colored paper up there. The explosion shredded all of that colored paper into a fine confetti, which then blew out the front attic window. The rest went straight up through the roof when the rafters come apart. Now Howard Hawks has gone from filming a Western to filming Mardi Gras. The shot was ruined by that little oversight. So for the next 7 days, they had to clean that mess up and rebuild the entire front end of the set. They were only ever intending to blow up once. And then when time permitted, they had to film that second half of the sequence all over again. So to use a highly technical term that pops up in Hollywood from time to time, oops. Now the next time you'll see John Wayne's favorite barn as a main set piece is in the movie El Dorado. And by that point, this wooden section has been added on. You are now looking at Swede Larsson's gunsmith shop in that movie. Now his sidekick in that film, this time he's named for the state of Mississippi, and he's being played by a very young James Caan. One scene earlier, Mississippi has just proven to John Wayne's character that he cannot shoot a firearm to save his life. So they go to the next town over, they go to the gunsmith shop right here, and they to Mr. Larson. He ends up showing Mississippi the most user-friendly firearm that he has for people with no experience. That is a sawed-off double-barrel shotgun. Back in the Old West, would have been referred to as a street howitzer. Well, he walks out of there, and they go out into the desert and run. Now, the next time he walks out, very close to that muzzle flash comes out the first time he shoots it. Whatever he takes, no cartridges, no flash powder, none of that. All that he does is pull the hammer back, yank up the trigger, and make the muzzle flash was put in like animated. The only way they can get away with that is because the projectors were very low resolution by today's standards. The audience wasn't even aware of this little subject. No fire like that, and the scene just moves on. If you watch El Dorado on a modern 4K or 5K monitor, that shotgun might as well have a small flag pop out with the word bang written on it. It is painfully obvious it's not a real muzzle flash at all. Right over here. The way our sets are designed, the far side of the property is the administrative wing. Most of the sets are here in the middle and off to this side. So most of the time, everything is filming in this direction. A mountain that size will inevitably photobomb one or more of the scenes you shoot here. Other thing to watch for, it's a little more subtle, but every now and again it just jumps out dead center on the screen, and that's the footbridge from here in 1939. And on up till the early 90s, you're looking at what will serve as the Western ever made here. So we're going to follow in the footsteps of a whole bunch of famous Old West actors and actresses, cross over the bridge, head on into town, and pay a visit to the Hotel Del Toro.
So free, the breeze is so warm and light. I would not exchange my home on the range for all of the city so bright. Oh, the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. How often at night, when the heavens are bright, when the light from the glitter towering stars. I stood here amazed and asked.
Now, if you grew up watching television westerns, chances are at least one or two of them was filmed right here. At one point in time, 7 out of 10 of the most popular film and television projects out there were westerns, and many of them called their home right here in Old Tucson. This is just a short list. Okay, show of hands if you recognize these titles. High Chaparral, Gunsmoke, Have Gun Will Travel, How the West Was Won, Little House on the Prairie, Welcome to Mankato, Minnesota, of all places. Father Murphy, Grizzly Adams, Bonanza. Yeah, and the list just keeps, like the Energizer Bunny, it just keeps going and going and going. Well, sadly, a lot of what I talk about on this part of the tour is all in the past tense. Because on April 24th, 1995, we had an arsonist pay us a visit out here. They lit off a fire on the backside of what was known as Kansas Street. By the time all was said and done, about 45% of Old Tucson was a smoldering ruin. So that took out all of Kansas Street, all of White Oak Street, where a lot of the westerns would have been filmed in the television category. It destroyed the entire center section here. It jumped the tracks, went over into the administrative section, took out most of the office space. It also destroyed our sound stage, our wardrobe department, and most of our set dressing warehouse. Now these buildings right here survived that fire, even though this section was burning right across the street from them, because they are all from 1939. Adobe does not burn. It got a little singed, but they're still with us today and fully operational set pieces. And the Hotel Del Toro right here has made appearances from 1939 all the way up to 2023. This is one of Tom Berenger's filming locations. They filmed the scene in the ground floor here as well as in the upstairs bedroom on the far side. Now with the name Hotel Del Toro on the front of it, this is how most of our guests recognize it from its appearance in a Western that, well, you could probably call it a Western. It's trying to be one. And it stars a group of actors that you really wouldn't think of as being Western material. And that's Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. That film is The Three Amigos. At that point, we are standing in Fort Mexico in 1916 when that film takes place. So just like everyone before them, the Three Amigos come into town across the entry bridge, all three of them on the one horse they can afford, and they tie that horse up in front of the hotel. They walk across the street and enter the cantina set they had here at the time. Now, whoever designed that set had a field day with the name of the building. Next time you watch the film, hit the pause button right as they walk up to the door. The name says Cantina del Borracho, which translates to Bar of the Drunk. Perfect name for a place that sells nothing but tequila, in my opinion. So it would have been right here in the middle of what is now Town Square that the My Little Buttercups song and dance routine would have been filmed. Now for you John Wayne fans, right over here where Big Jake's restaurant stands today, that is where the McClintock Hotel building used to stand. It would have been on the right side that Maureen O'Hara falls off the balcony into the hay wagon, followed by John Wayne, starting that big chase scene at the end of the movie where she ends up in nothing but her bloomers, getting a spanking in the blacksmith shop to the delight of the whole town. Well, if you think back to that scene, when she falls off the balcony, you see her with her back to the camera. That is how they hid her stunt double. You were then supposed to see John Wayne from the back also jump off, and that was supposed to be his stunt double. Right up until the guy calls out sick that day. So the director approaches John Wayne, asks if he would be willing to make that jump himself, and he agreed. He'd made jumps like that before. He knew how to do that. It's only about a 10-foot fall. He's 6'4". He is practically there anyway. Well, there was a lot of preparations going through his mind at that time. His lower back was starting to give him some problems at that point in his career, and so the last thing he wanted to do was not be able to get out of bed the following morning. So with all the preparations running through his mind, they all worked together to drown out the one well-meaning voice going, "John, excuse me, John, did you remember to take your wristwatch off and leave it in your trailer after lunch like you were supposed to?" When he jumps off that balcony and puts his hands up to steady himself, hit the pause button, you will see a gold Rolex watch band on his left wrist in an era where everyone is supposed to have pocket watches. That watch is in view the entire time he drops into the wagon. There was a second unit camera across the street filming the landing. It saw the watch too. By the time they realized it was in the shot, McClintock had already been released to theaters and nothing could be done about it. So again, oops. Now we talk about the movie Tombstone being filmed here. We mean it. But when they made that movie, we existed as a movie lot in two different places. This is our main lot at 201 South Kinney Road. We also had a satellite facility starting from the late 1950s up until 2020. That sits just between Benson, Arizona and Tombstone. That's the Mescal Movie Ranch. It was out in Mescal that the town of Tombstone would be built for that film. What they're shooting here are different locations that they need to tell the story that because our buildings can be redressed to be anything you want them to be, you don't have to go all over the map to do it. Now, sadly, we lost all of those buildings with one exception to the fire in '95. We're going to walk over here to Big Jake's. I'll show you where they shot a lot of those sequences.
From my head and with a trembling hand, I took with a pretty flow.
The first scene of the movie was shot here, first of all, using the most recognized set piece we have, and that is the old mission set, right here at the end of White Oak. Now, the original structure goes all the way back to 1939. It's been added on to and built up over the years, but the middle section right there around the door, that's what remains of the original structure today. Now, when Tom Berenger was out here filming, that was where they were shooting a very important scene in that film. His character is Father Callahan, and every time he's outside his church in that movie, that's the structure you're going to see behind him. In the case of Tombstone, this is where, in the opening scene, the characters of Curly Bill Brocious and Johnny Ringo are introduced to the audience when they crash a wedding in Mexico and then gun down the groom, the best man, and the priest right outside the church's front door. That scene takes place right over here. The next scene to be shot is supposedly in Texas, and it's the scene that introduces Doc Holliday. That would have been shot right here on this section of Front Street. They were using the Golden Nugget Saloon, which would have been right about where the barber pole is today. And so that's where the swinging doors that Big Nose Kate and Doc would have backed out of after he knifes Ed Bailey and leaves him on the table for accusing him of cheating. And then they get on their horses and get ready for their long drive out to the Arizona Territory, which is right around the corner here. Now, that where our bathhouse is today, that was the beginning of what's called Kansas Street. About 45 feet off of Front Street, that is where they are filming the I'm Your Huckleberry scene. And it's the only time where the city of Tombstone is portrayed here. Now, there's some that claim that was actually filmed out in Mescal, but we know it was shot here because when Johnny Ringo goes off on his little I want your blood, I want your soul tirade, and Sam Elliott turns around to confront him, take a look behind Sam Elliott over his left shoulder, and you will see Golden Gate Peak is photobombing that scene. The next sequence they film out here is when Josephine and Wyatt are dancing in the snow at the end of the movie. They're supposed to be in Denver in the dead of winter. Now that scene would have been filmed right about where the water tower is today, in front of our original courthouse scene. Now the courthouse was lost to the fire and was eventually replaced with a new building over here in 1997. Now the building you actually see them dancing in front of, for any of you Clint Eastwood fans, that is from the movie Joe Kidd. That's the courthouse that he's trying to get to the entire movie. Well, for Tombstone, he's painted and redressed as a theater in Denver. In the winter, that scene is being filmed in Arizona in the middle of July. Not a lot of snow on the ground at that time of year. In fact, we rarely ever get snow at this elevation. So what you see them using is, just like everything else on a movie lot, genuine fake. It's shaved white plastic. It looks beautiful on camera, right up until the wind does this. That light meat material will then pick up and take off all over the movie lot. Sequence 32 years ago. We are still cleaning up after it. Today, on the building down this side of the property, the fire in 1995, some pieces of that fake white snow look surrounding the structure. Things come out of Hollywood that last forever. Now, the final sequence we're going to film out here, they did two separate shots at this location. One was a day shot, one was a night shot. That's our train station. And it would have been right at the end of Front Street here, just to the right of the little white church down here. The day shot was supposed to be Tucson, Arizona, 1880, and the Earp family is arriving in Arizona. The second time they film out there, it's a night shot. It's again standing in as this very same train station about a year and a half later. And now that is where Frank Stillwell gets shotgunned by Wyatt after his brother Morgan's been killed in the pool hall one scene earlier. It also leads to the tagline that you see them use in just about every single trailer for that movie. You tell them I'm coming and hell's coming with me. That would have been filmed right over here at our old train station. As is the case with all good things, they do eventually come to an end, and such is the case with our tour of the sets today. On behalf of the entire staff and crew of Old Tucson, we'd like to thank you for spending some time with us. And in the words of many a director in the 500 projects that have called this place home over the years, that's a wrap, folks. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Now, if you haven't seen it already, right here at the end.
Act in the 1860s. Many early Americans migrated west to try to build their vision of a better future. Some sought adventure or riches. Some chose to exploit the lack of authority in the expansive New World. Others searched for the peace that only solitude brought. Here, they would make their home and defend their dream of freedom.
Now, Nate, don't you go busting your hand open like you did the last time you messed with that fence.
Don't you worry about me, darling. Today, my aim's as true as the North Star. You won't have to soak any more rags with my blood.
I don't mind doctoring you. We're just running out of fresh cotton is all, so go easy, okay?
All right, hey, what would I do without you, huh? What the devil? Molly, get out here a minute.
Nathan Willow, I leave you alone for 1 minute.
No, it's not that. I'm over here.
Good heavens, what happened?
I don't know. This fella just appeared looking half dead.
What happened to you? I'm gonna get him some.
Okay. Here, come on, partner. I got you a seat. On your feet. Come on. Come on. Okay, slow down. You're gonna drown yourself drinking like that. There's 3 of them. Bullets were flying fast through the side of our coach. What? Who did this? You were robbed?
Let him speak.
It was me and this other fella. We were sharing a stagecoach from the Butterfield lot from El Paso, right? God, it just came at us like a storm. It was noise and fury. That fella and the driver, they tried to stop him in the attack, but we just killed with their efforts. Devils. How'd you manage to survive something like that, huh? I got lucky. In all that fuss, I was able to jump out the side door and I hit a sage bush. Just hid there, stayed put until they came whatever they were after. And as soon as they left, I ran as fast and as far as I could. Thank you. Thanks to heavens you folks are here. Otherwise I'd be done for. Well, mister, did anybody see you making a break for it? Hell if I know. I just ran till my legs quit. I ain't even looked back for nothing.
Well, there's nothing to worry about. You're safe with us, okay? We're gonna get you all fixed up in our bunkhouse. My name's Molly Willow. This here's my husband. He is a crack shot from his days in the Union, so there's nothing to worry about. Come on.
Okay. Hey, let's just get you inside and all cooled off, okay, mister?
Thank you, folks. Many call me Red.
Okay, Red.
Good to meet you, Red.
Watch your step. We in trouble, Nate?
I'm not sure, but it won't put faith in my assumptions. There's a chance they saw our new friend here, and they're using them as bait for a bigger prize.
Think they're headed this way?
We best be ready just in case. So Molly, why don't you go inside and get yourself armed, okay? And bring me my Colts. I see dust on the hills. And I know it ain't the wind. Thank you, darling. Hey, Red? Red, I might need your help. There's a couple of cowboys coming up. There might be those devils that robbed you all, if that's the case. I need to know it. Can do, Mr. Willow. But don't you come out here, though. Don't push your luck with these boys here today. You've been through enough.
Okay, yes, sir. I'll tell them what they'll do.
Those boys are riding up fast.
Yeah, they sure are. Actually, Molly, do me a favor. Ditch that pistol by that trough. We don't know what business we're about to tend to until we're certain this is a visit from a fellow American. They're our guests first. Afternoon, gentlemen. My name's Nathan Willow. This is my wife, Molly. This is our place. You're welcome to stay, rest, water your horses a while. As long as you can keep your manners about you.
Well, much obliged, Mr. Willow. My name's Mr. Kelly. This is my associate, Mr. Bailey. We're here on some, official business, that's a word.
Molly, do you mind tending our horses?
Sure.
Official business, huh? Well, I don't see stars on your chest, so what's this about?
Well, sir, we are hunting a wanted criminal. We believe they have tracked to this here parcel, so we're going to search the property. Ascertain their whereabouts. It's for your own safety, sir.
I, sir, am responsible for my safety. And you will not be entering my property without a signed warrant from the territorial judge.
All right, no need to ruffle your feathers none. We just know that you're a harboring a wanted fugitive. And we're a long way from a territorial judge. That's right. So how about you just hand him over? Save yourself some trouble, huh?
Now you look here. No, I am not about to have some lying buzzards threaten me on my own land.
That's them. Those guys I was telling you about.
Stay back.
No, these guys, they robbed and they killed everyone.
Cease. We have been told an entirely different story about you two. Seeing that you don't have a warrant, I'm leaning towards y'all being liars and murderers.
Well, them's weighty words for a dirt farmer.
If you touch that gun, I'll burn you right where you stand.
Hey, let's not be hasty now, huh?
You and your ilk aren't welcome on my land.
This ain't your land, dirt farmer.
It is now, you gray-bellied pigs.
No act of government allows you to claim heaven and earth.
Ain't no God here neither. Ain't nothing looking out for you two.
Bury him, Nathan. It's 3 against 2.
That's real funny. Because I heard my associates just say 2. Ain't that right, Red?
Damn straight, Harley.
No.
You double-crossing snake.
Easy now.
Doing?
You best little old sand colt there. Or Red's gonna turn your lovely wife's head into a canoe.
What are you playing at? We took you into our home.
This ain't your home, dirt farmer.
The hell it ain't. I got a certificate from the land office stating I have 160 acres. Starting from that foothills over there.
Yeah, and I don't give a damn who gave you a piece of paper. This is Kelly land. Our family has been here for a generation now. We ain't about to give it up to no East Coast tenderfoot.
You blue-bellied dog.
You can't do this.
Hey, come on. Watch us.
All right, Weeping Willow. You and your missus, well, you just, you make your peace with the Lord now.
Nate.
Well, you know, gentlemen, I have you something, something.
Yeah? What's that?
I will not make this easy.
Kill me, Willow. Butch!
Sir!
Where'd that Texas woman go?
In the bunkhouse! Skirt ended after she killed Red. What do you want to do with her?
Kill her. Burn the place to the ground!
With Les. I'll see you two in hell.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get there first. Like I says, Willow, this is Kellyland. Always was, and always will be. And we'll bury anyone that tries to take it from us. Oaths and constitutions be damned.
Molly, no!
And then there was one. After I plug you and pull your beloved out of the smoldering ashes, you know what I'm gonna do with you? I'm gonna drag your corpses over to that mesquite over there. I'm gonna string you both up, and I'm going to leave you to rot.
The hell you are! We warned him.
About what?
That we'd bury him here.
Nathan and Molly Willow survived for many decades on their humble homestead. They would raise a family there and enjoy many prosperous years. Unfortunately, the attack on Willow Ranch was just the first skirmish in a long and bloody dispute over contested lands. Land that the Willow family would never surrender. Ladies and gentlemen, the actors of Old Tucson.
Thank you, folks. Thank you for coming to see our show, The Attack on Willow Ranch. Keep an eye on those show schedules because there's still much more to see and do here at Old Tucson. This is where legends come alive. Thank you. And if you want any pictures with the cast or you want to ask us any questions, we'll be right here waiting.
And my girls and I are just blaze this pie to have you all here with us today. Woo! Okay. We're working on it. Now, speaking of my girls, I bet they're still getting ready, so why don't we bring them on out here? What do you think, folks? Woo! Okay. You can do a little bit better than that. Come on. Woo! Your chest is gonna heave. I'm gonna toss my guards out, snap just lovely? That's right, here at the Grand Palace, our drinks are strong, but my girls are stronger. In the gentle kind of way. Now, speaking of my girls, why don't y'all introduce yourselves?
Howdy, y'all. My name is Ruby Rose. And I'm friendly and small spice.
That means you clap. May look sweet, but watch out, she is one to style. She'll take him to the table and some say she's got one of the quickest jobs in town. Give it up for Ruby Rose! Alright, Darby, what's next?
Oh, howdy, everybody. My name is Daisy. Like the song? Daisy, Daisy, give me your hand to do. I'm half crazy over the love of you.
That's right, folks. Our Daisy here is a heartbreaker. But you are just sweet as sugar, aren't you, darling? Give it up for Daisy! Very nice. Now, I got one more dancing girl, okay? I'm really excited to have y'all meet, okay? So y'all be really excited, okay? What's going on? Hey, I'm in the middle of something.
Sorry, Miss Lily.
Oh, I see now. Oh my goodness, darling.
I think this is my turn.
Come on up here and introduce yourself.
They call me Poppy.
Now, Poppy here is one of our newest dancing girls. A little shy. But we'll break her out of her shell though. And you know what, darling?
What?
I think now. It's that time! Thank you. Now, let me tell you about how I met these ladies. And clap along, okay, folks, let's go! Buffalo girls, you come out tonight, come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo girls, you come out tonight, dance for the light of blue. As I was walking down the street, a pretty little girl had a teach to me, oh, she was there to see. I stopped her and we had a talk. Her feet took up the hillside walking. Buffalo girls, you come out tonight, come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo girls, you come out tonight, dance for the light of blue. I stopped her at the bar and asked her if she could dance. I thought I would give her a chance to shake up with me. We danced all night with a hole in her stocking and her heels kept her knocking and her dress kept her rocking. Danced all night with a hole in her stocking, we danced for the light of blue. Buffalo girls, you come out tonight, come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo girls, you come out tonight, dance for the light of the blue. Buffalo girls, you come out tonight, come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo girls, you come out tonight, dance for the light of the blue. All right, folks, you get a little louder than that, let's go. I can't hear you folks, get louder.
is ready, okay, darling?
It's okay, Butch. Don't be shy. Come on up. We don't bite. Come on up high. Okay, we got one. We got two. Three. Round of applause for our lovely volunteers, folks.
What is your name?
Woo! Give it up for Jose. Woo! Woo! Give it up for Anthony. Ooh! Give it up for Rich. Woo! Well done, ladies.
This is a great looking bunch. Y'all are coming with me. Let's go.
Well, weren't they in an awful hurry? You know, I've always had a soft spot for a rough and tumble cowboy. Y'all want to hear about it? Yeah! Thanks, the three of you. That's cute. Oh, come on, folks. Do you all want to hear about it? Yeah! Okay, hit it. She's prettier than the last dance I brought. How sweet. Oh. All right, folks, it's your turn to sing. Let's go. I want to be a cowboy sweetheart. Sing along. Want to learn to rope and ride. I want to ride over the plains of the deserts. I wish that gave me fly. I want to hear coyotes howling while the sun sets in the west. I want to be a cowboy sweetheart with the life and love the best. Thank you. Thank you.
Seriously? I have some good news. The girls and I were just in the back and you will never guess what food I...
Well, what?
A stage coach with me, new dancing girls. They want to dance for you.
Oh my goodness. Well, what are we doing, folks? Let's bring them on out here. Woo!
Okay.
my right? Back up, ladies. I don't need you anymore. Well, Poppy, in the Wild West, a gal has to stand her ground and look out for herself. But, and her, us sparkling diamonds, we just take care of each other. Come on,
Folks, if you're from out of state, you're also from out of town.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the beautiful Mission Santa Rita. The show you're about to see contains simulated gunfire, which may be loud for some people. Now, sit back and enjoy the show.
So we don't get somewhere else?
Canada.
We already did Canada! You lost your shot!
Hey, we're not paying attention. We are cheap seats.
Yeah, you're not paying attention, which is why you get the cheap seat. Alright, so let's get this show started. Hi, my name is Stephanie. Welcome to Old Tucson, and specifically our Santa Rita mission set. Now, Old Tucson is... Old Tucson's been around since 1939 from Film, Arizona. Since then, there have been first and music videos that have been filmed right here. There have been Hollywood legends that walk the same streets as you have. Legends like John Wayne, Steve Martin, that other amigo, and so many others. Now, as a Scott team, we're going to take you.
We're doing our ceremonial quick draw.
We're doing that every time? Every time? Yeah, I know what ceremonial means. Alright, do you folks know what they say right before a quick draw? Draw! And that's our show. David, you okay? What? What?
Point to your spleen.
No, that's not your spleen, buddy. You know why? Because you're a stunt guy over 30. Over 30, I am 30.
And Katie, she shot me in my tubes.
What tubes? What tubes?
Jesse, you shot me in my transistor.
Transistor? Oh, I think you might want to see a doctor if you have one of those.
I don't know.
Maybe you're just talking. Alright, now, we're going to behind the scenes show you just what we do. We're going to show you how we do fights, how we do guns, and the show is adrenaline pumping high flying action. How's that sound?
individually. This is supposed to be a 25-minute show.
Don't take my hat, Katie!
Sorry, folks, we're just kidding.
To the belly.
Okay, now not much better. Not much better. Now we're gonna go ahead and talk about how we do fights. Now with fights, there's certain forms that we certain style that we use that's called full contact. Yes. Each other, but not in a way that hurts each other. Let's use Gabe here, for example. I'm going to show you how we do a gut punch. Now, as it suggests, I aim the gut right here. Now, targeting is very important. I don't want to aim too high. If I go too high, I may bruise a rib, I may knock the wind out of them, and if I go too low, well, I'll be walking straight for a good long while. So targeting is very important. So next thing I want to do is I want to telegraph. That means I'm going to wind back. It's going to let you, the audience, know I'm going to throw a punch. Well, more importantly, it's going to let Tata know I'm going to throw a punch. Now, this punch, I'm not going to coming down through the Taco Bell, pull his spine, and like Mortal Kombat makes happen. Yeah! Try not to do. What I'm going to do instead is when I get right around here, I'm going to drop my elbow. It's going to sort of before I here. He's going to react as if I hit him really hard. So an example of this is going to look a little like this. Ready? Here we go. Oh.
Did you just fart?
Just farted.
Yeah,
I farted. So what?
You farted.
Show you the shit.
Let's talk loud. Everyone grab a rock and throw it at it.
Do this.
Drop an elbow. I drop my chin. Drop my chin.
Chin
Drop.
Make a cup with my hand. Put it right here. Area. Kind of in between your shoulder and your
Clavicle. Clavicle.
Makes good sound. And then follow through with like a touch. Alright, so we'll show you what it looks like behind the scenes.
It looks stupid, right? My big butt.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
We're okay. Where we're not hurting each other, one of those fights is a little bit. How dare you beat it?
They need VCR. Okay, hold on. I'm second date certified.
Second date certified?
All right. First, I was afraid. I was petrified. That guy wants to give him mouth to mouth.
Okay, let's VCR Big Country White. Oh, hey, VCR Big Country White. Okay. Yeah, sure, bud. Let's do that.
It's not that loud.
Imagine a movie that called
How many of you guys think that our guns are real?
So there's a movie called
We're getting there. And appreciate the honesty. No, these guns are actually fake. Blanks can still be very dangerous, so we want to use the same kind of safety that we do with real guns as we do with these. Now, one of our common practices that we use with any kind of gun that we have on set is called offshooting. So let's say I'm facing off against an angle right here. My gun is not pointed directly. It's actually pointed 6 to 8 feet off stage, away from you, the audience. And you're welcome. And then I go ahead and fire.
Jesse! You put a hole in me! There's a big hole! Nope, that's my belly button.
Children get lodged inside the barrel. Now become a projectile. Guns here, and the part, of course, the show. Another day. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce you Old Tucson Quicken on the Draw.
Nothing to get ice cream.
They also only have his name and created. I guess we'll fight for whoever is quickest on the draw. And yeah, let's just. You guys know, cheering session. So, this Since bleacher on, you guys are going to be cheering for Kaden! Not bad. David! Kaden! Stunts! You want to see some stunts?
Kick's cool. Kick you.
Hey guys, she's gonna get me! She's gonna get me!
Are you out of ammo? Yeah, I need one. You need one? Throw one. All right. Oh!
How long did you live?
All I'm supposed to do is die, right? Yeah, die. No, I have to die on the tower.
I know, it's an old Western movie.
Well, I'm no farmer, but if you're young Ben's uncle, yes, I've whipped him. And you're intruding.
What's intruding mean?
Butting in.
Oh, so he's insulting me. Well, then I got another reason for welcome. Besides, on account of him thrashing my nephew, young Ben.
Well, Leroy, you can't get mixed up
That's
in
John
these
Wayne.
youngsters' quarrel.
Family honor.
in the 50s and the 60s. He was like Tom Cruise, the biggest movie star.
Don't let that bother you, Mr. McClintock. Mr. Fauntleroy.
Your grandfather has a John Wayne poster and all this stuff. Your grandfather's a big fan. He was the #1 movie star.
They still have some of the original 56 ropes. Oh, really?
Now they wrote in the state.
We used to have that outside the Lehigh house. That one. Yep. It's the agave plants.
Did you do the type of cactus?
Yep. It grew just fine and we got